How's everybody doing today? Just wanted to find out if you guys can hear me. See who's online. If you can just type in the chat box, that'd be great. Twitch. We're starting shortly, in about a few minutes. Okay, seems like you guys can hear me. Just to make sure, I'll run around a little bit just so we can make sure that the Twitch stream is not jittering like it did the other day. Seems to work fine. Nice. So today I'm just going to go over a few things like crafting, just to show you guys what we've done so far with crafting and how we intend to move forward with it. So first thing I'll do is I'll quickly run to a crafting station. So this little area we're in now is Port Turanga. You can see from last one we have a few ships now in the water. So let's quickly go to the crafting stations, and we can jump right into it. So like we were here before about Boris, the blacksmith. You guys saw that we have our skill system here. So you have different skills that you can use, and you level up your skills here. The same goes for crafting. So just to show you guys, each station will have its own crafting interface. So if you go to a station, for instance, and you click on it, you can see we started the new crafting interface than we had before. So what I'll do is I'll quickly start explaining a little bit how everything is going to be working and how the interfaces work. So you'll see these are your learned skills that you have. So right now I haven't learned anything. This is a brand new character. And then this is like a skill book. And then you have skills, recipes that you learn from your skill. So these are recipes that you'll learn when you level a character or a skill up in refining. So just like everything in Arcfall, everything is skill based. So each type of crafting system you want to do, like refining, blacksmithing and so on, is all skill based. So when you use it, you get experience points from it, and then you level up your skill. So when I click on this station, for instance, which is a smelter, it's directly linked to refining skill, and you can see for the skill bar there, it shows I need 400 experience points to go to the next level. So this is my level that I'm in right now. You start off at level 1. This here shows what every time you level up your skill, every 4 skill points you get into a skill, you gain stat points like in dexterity, and the secondary one will be potential. So if I open up my character screen here, go back here, so you can see this is my character stats. So we have dexterity there, and we have potential there. So every time I level this skill up to a level 4, or every 4 levels, I get more additional skill points here, stat points I mean. The other thing you will notice too is I have a little note here. So we have 2 types of way to craft things. One is using blueprints, which is these ones here. Blueprints you learn from either leveling your skill, which this one will show you. If you level this skill up to level 6 in refining, it will unlock this blueprint, and so forth, like level 10 and so on and so on. And then the learned ones, I might have to change that a little bit, but learned is you have to physically go buy a scroll, a blueprint scroll from a merchant, and then when you get the scroll and you activate it, you'll actually learn that specific blueprint. Now you have a level also set on this side. This level doesn't indicate at what stage you can learn it, but it indicates at what level of your refining you can actually craft the item. Same as these ones here. This indicates when you will learn it, but also at what level you can craft this item. So then you'll notice we have a little note here that if you want to craft with blueprints and you want to see the layout, so this is your slots. This is where you drag in your items, and this is your result slots. So this will be what you can craft. You can craft one by pressing this button, or you can craft all by entering the amount and crafting all, as long as you have your resources dragged into the slot here. This layout here shows you a layout, for instance, for charcoal. So you can see every time you craft charcoal, you'll get 7 experience points, which will go into your refining skill, and that's how you increase it. Then if you click on stone mold, for instance, then you'll see you need 1 charcoal, 2 sand, and 2 stone, and then slot 3 you put the stone, and so forth. And then it also gives you 7 experience points. So if you go here, for instance, you'll see that the bronze mold that you learn from the skill gives you 55 experience points. And as you go further and further and further, these items you craft will give you more experience points. So it's better to craft higher tier items. So let's start here first. So you'll see if I go here, open up my bag, and you can just click it, the item resource. You can put resources in the slots no matter which one layout you have open, because this is just to give a guide for you. You can see it if you put 1 cyper log in slot 1, like we did for charcoal, it says slot 1, takes 2, but you can put more resources in a slot. It'll craft the charcoal item. But if I press craft, it won't craft it because I haven't actually opened up the blueprint for it. So if we close that, and I go here to the Boris. So he's a merchant. Let's move that there. So this is a merchant. So you'll notice I've given myself some gold and so forth, so I can buy these things. But you'll see if you mouse over it, it'll give you an idea of what item this blueprint will teach. So let me buy this one. I'll quickly buy the charcoal. Actually, I'll buy all of them. And let me close this. So now I have the blueprints for each one of these. See that charcoal, it crafts charcoal, it uses a smelter station, and the resources it requires is 4 cyper warlock. And this one requires other resources. You can see each resource there. So now with blueprints, when you click it, this UI is still not perfect, it should say that you learned it there. So now if I go to the station, you'll see now that icon is lit up, so I know this blueprint. So now if I go and I add this in, the one side per lock, because this is what it says for charcoal, and I press craft, we have a timer going down. So I got my one charcoal I crafted, and it might be a little bit small because not a lot of XP, so, but you see I got 7 out of 400 now in experience. So you can just craft a bunch if you want to. Let's craft another one, yeah. So you see now I got 14 experience, and this is how you gain your skill level in crafting. So let's see, let's learn, let's close this. Let me learn these two here. So I've opened this now up, you'll see I've learned these two now, so I know all these blueprints there. So let's go to a stone mold. Let's create a stone mold. So to create a stone mold, oh, I don't have sand. Let me quickly generate some sand here. This generation is just for admin, so he won't be able to do that. So if we go to see, we need 1 charcoal, 2 sand and 2 stone. So if you put it in the wrong slots like this, before we could put it in any slot, it wouldn't matter, but for blueprints, if you put it in any slot, it won't work. It only works with recipes, but I'll explain recipes just now. So blueprints, for this one we need, in slot 1 we need 2 charcoal, we need 2 sand in slot 2, and we need stone in slot 3. So now we can craft a stone mold. So let's craft a stone mold. So you see I keep gaining experience every time I craft something. Let's see what the layout is for bronze ingot. So I can make a bronze ingot. So bronze ingot requires 2 charcoal. So I need one more charcoal. So let me take that out. I know charcoal is just crafting with some cyber logs. Okay, and then I need 2 charcoal. I can put my bronze ore in there. So bronze ore you'll be getting with harvesting nodes, like resource nodes for copper ore, I mean bronze ore, copper ore. And then we need 1 stone. Oh, I still need some water too. Let me get some water. Okay, and we need 1 water. Okay, now we can craft a bronze ingot. So let's craft that bronze ingot. And like I say, you can see our experience keeps going up. So now we got a bronze ingot. And now from there you can craft more items and so on. So eventually this will fill up. You'll have a bunch of different recipes or blueprints you can learn permanently for each station. And same with the skills, it will open up a bunch of them depending on which ones we have, each one. So let's go back there. Okay, so that's basically how you craft with blueprints and how the crafting works. Like I said, this is not a huge explanation or a tutorial, but it's a quick tutorial showing you guys. So also you can click here and you can lock your smelter, your refining skill. So for instance, you only get a set amount of skill points and you don't want to spend all your skill points in here, you can lock it. And as you level up, it won't level you up further than this skill point. Or you can set it to go down. So when you level another skill, this one will automatically start going down. So you can play around with. You can either do a lot of refining right now and have it maxed out, and then later you can change over and have less refinery and maybe more blacksmithing or something else. So now let's talk about recipes. So these are blueprints. Blueprints you can learn, like I said, either through your skills that you unlock or through purchasing from merchants. Then we have recipes, that's just recipes. Recipes is a once-off use only. Recipes will be giving you more experience points when you craft with them, but you will only get them either from completing quests or from drops from mobs and so forth. So like I say, you'll place recipes like it says there. You can place a recipe in any slot here, and you can put whatever resources it requires in the other slots, and then you'll just craft it. So once you craft it, it'll use up that recipe, and so you won't be able to craft another one of that once you've crafted it, and you won't know it permanently. But these are more like unique items for crafting, like say for instance rare items that you get from bosses and so on. And also, you know, like I say, they give more experience points. So say for instance you find these recipes by killing mobs, and then you can actually craft and gain your crafting level faster than just the ones you have right there. So that's a bit of crafting. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask them. Like I said, this was just a quick tutorial showing you guys how crafting system is going to be working. And the other nice thing also, while we're here, I'm going to show you guys, we have new character models for the female. They look way better than the first ones that we had before. We also, like you see, the UI is a little bit better, fixing up and so forth. For character names and so on. And like you can see there, we have a nice ships. These are one of the bigger ships that will be sailing around. These have cannons on them, but players will be able to sail ships like this later on and buy them, and they'll be smaller and easier ones to get as well. So that's pretty much it. Like I said, this was just a quick introduction to crafting. So if you guys have any questions, you can ask them now. Sheep are still super strong. We haven't changed that yet. Also now a nice thing, like, I mean, this is not combat, but I just wanted to show this, that with the interface that we're changing the names on this stuff. You can see my damage will go up right by me, and then the damage done to the sheep will go up right by it. So that's a nice little touch that we added in. Yeah, the next stream that we'll be doing, we'll actually go more into combat and skill and abilities. You can see some particle effects, how damage is being dealt, how you gain while using a weapon or using an ability, and so forth. Any questions? I'll just run a little bit around, show the area. I think last we had too much stuttering, so we couldn't show the island so well. I can see we're getting pretty decent frame rate there. For harvesting resource nodes, yeah, the nodes still work very similar like before, where you would go up to a tree, for instance, and click it with a weapon in your hand, and then you'll just harvest it. One thing we are changing is the weight. So right now it's not set up That's why my weight, I can walk around with being overweight. But we will make it so that when you're getting closer to your max weight, it will start slowing you down and you start walking, and then when you hit your max weight, you'll actually stand still. One of the big reasons we're doing that is to counter a lot of people creating bots in the previous versions, just walking around and harvesting like crazy. So this way at least it won't totally stop them, but they'll be stuck. They won't be able to go anywhere after they harvest too much. So for instance, this is a note here, so you'll run up to a note here for the tree, you'll click on it, you'll see you have a little icon on it. Then you would have an axe equipped, so next to this one, I don't have an axe, can't do that action. Don't have an axe equipped, so then you'll have an axe equipped, and then you'll just chop it down. And I saw that that you posted the 1-0 split for changing having in the character screen. We'll do that. We'll increase this a little bit and we'll add in mounts and then quick shortcut keys for putting in like different tools, like for instance an axe or a some other harvesting tools, and you can switch between them quickly. Oh, there's the sun going down there. There's another little island on that side there. So with island traveling, you can either click on a map and travel. It will cost you money to travel there, or you can actually even swim there, or if you have a mount that goes on water or a ship, you can actually go on that. So there's going to be lots of traveling involved here. With nodes though, so I'll show resource gathering a little bit later, but when you click on a node, for instance, and you, like I said before, if you have a depending on what level axe you have on, for instance, for a tree, it'll determine how much experience you get. So the weapon will give you experience, as well as the node, resource node that you activate. And higher tier resource nodes will obviously give you more experience, which will go right onto your so let me open your skill. So if you go to resource nodes, like lumberjacking, if you gain lumberjacking, the XP points, depending on what skill node you have, harvesting, you can gain in that. Like you can see here, this is the level, you need level 2 lumberjacking to harvest, to create infused cyber locks. Now these will be created like at a sawmill, and the same as like we just did with the refining, you'll have the permanent recipes that you can learn from opening up a skill in this, and then you have recipes you can learn by actually going and buying them from the merchant. Like for wood, for sawmill, it will be wood planks to make wood planks or stuff like that. Yeah, so there you have pine tree. To get to chop pine trees down, you have to be at level 10 and so forth, so it just keeps going down. Same with, you can see skinning here, so we have all the different skinning recipes, skinning abilities. So these are passive abilities if you look there. So it means this is when you can skin these types of creatures, or this is the level it starts at. So say for instance all the bear mobs will be at level 9 and upwards, so that if you go kill a bear, whatever his level is, that'll be the minimum level you would need to skin him. But you might find a ravaged bear, for instance, that's like level 50, and although so if you have a bear skinning open at level 9, then you'll be able to skin the ravaged bear, even though he's like a level 50. And then like we got gathering, so gathering also gives you experience every time you go and harvest or gather the items. Same with skinning, every time you skin, you gain experience points in it. Same with each level mob or so on. Higher levels will give you more experience than lower levels, as well as with gathering. So if you just gather ginseng the whole time, you're just going to get a few experience points, where if you change it up a little bit and gather higher tier items, you'll get more experience points and level up your gathering skill faster. And using abilities also gives you a certain amount of of skills. All abilities don't use any resources, regions anymore. It only uses your mana pool. So that's one of the things I think you asked about, you guys wanted to do. And there's mining. So we do have like conjured pickaxe, for instance. So you can do these on the fly. They only use mana. You know, you don't have to craft these items. It's a pickaxe, a magical pickaxe you can use. Only downside to using these is they won't give you that much experience points when you use them, like a normal pickaxe would that you crafted. So this is more to use when you're on an island. You can't craft another pickaxe and your pickaxe broke. So you can just quickly activate one if you still want to continue gathering resources. Any other questions? So like I say, we'll do another stream next weekend, showing some combat. I think it's next weekend. There's a schedule on it. And then if you guys have any questions, make sure to bring them to the combat streaming. Otherwise, I think if there's no other questions, I'll just call this a wrap. Like I said, this was just to show how we intend to do crafting and how you can have now permanent recipes. You can learn permanent recipes, or you can also get like permanent blueprints, or you can also get recipes that'll be temporary recipes that you can use to craft higher tier items. Like that, Arcfall is more of a crafting type of game than normal games. So. Okay, if that's no other questions, we'll be uploading this to YouTube, so you most probably will see this on YouTube for those that couldn't make it today. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask them in Discord. And we look forward to seeing you guys in the game. Thanks.